Hi everybody, this is Liam. I just wanted to do a quick reintroduction. I posted a video quite a while ago now, and then I watched the video and personally I wasn't very happy with the content, so I changed gears a little bit and thought maybe I'd do better doing a mix of things that I personally enjoy, which aside from video games is anime. I greatly enjoy anime. I've been watching anime for well over a decade at this point, so I have seen a ton. However, I don't necessarily remember all of them, so I will likely be revisiting shows I've previously watched, which means that I'll probably remember what's going on about halfway through the show, or after the first 2 or 3 episodes I'll remember everything that happened the first time I watched it. So some of the shows will be looked at from almost kind of a second watch through, so to speak, and some of the shows, well, there's a lot of anime to watch and I obviously haven't seen them all, so some of them will be more first looks. I'll cover I might put some personal opinions in there, but by no means do I mean to review animes in that aspect. They're just impressions that I have, and I hope you enjoy the content. The first series I think I'll cover that I just finished is Shakugana no Shana. For those of you that are curious, it was originally a light novel series written by Yashichiro Takahashi. Viz released volume 1 of the manga in the US April 2007, and the light novel Shakugana no Shana Fight Day, October 2007. Unfortunately, to date, the American release of the manga and light novels seem to be left unfinished. Geneon originally licensed the first television series for the North American release, and later that was transferred to Funimation, who licensed the remaining shows. One fun little tidbit: the main character, Shana, will also make an appearance in the 2D fighting game Denki Bunko Fighting Climax. So back to Shakugana no Shana. Basically, it's about a girl with powers that fights evil monsters that eats human souls. She meets a boy and learns a bit about human emotions. I really enjoyed the first season on this one. I thought the characters were diverse and very likable. It did introduce a kind of classic love triangle, which I'm normally not too much of a fan on, but it's a pretty common theme, so I've learned to kind of go along with this. I was afraid that one of the main characters, Yuji, would end up just spending most of the show as a useless whiner, but I was pleasantly surprised that he actually turned out to be a well-rounded character. The supporting characters were good. Some of the relationships later on in the series seemed a little bit forced. Not with the main characters. They had a really nice setup. For example, Saoto's relationship, though they did kind of introduce elements of it over time, it seemed like the pacing got a little fast on it, and there might not have been quite as much setup as there could have been. Of course, this is all in hindsight. Again, overall, I thought it was a great show. I enjoyed it. I was afraid initially when I watched the first few episodes that it was just going to be similar to the shows where you just fight and power up and fight and power up, and that was pretty much it. But it definitely was a bit more rounded than that, and it had a lot more to offer as far as characters. It had plenty of action scenes. Now, the final season for me felt quite a bit disjointed. One of the characters, I'm trying not to give away any spoilers here, but one of the main characters, his personality seemed to do a complete 360, which as a viewer I found pretty jarring. Only other thing I noticed is after the first season they have a organization called, in the English version they call them Bel Mask, and later on it's changed to Bal Mask. So not a big thing, but it was I thought it was amusing that the pronunciation actually changed. The third season's good in its own right, but I personally feel, for me, I'm going to consider the third season like a separate movie they made that takes place in the same universe and everything, but I can't really consider the third season necessarily part of the whole series. But again, overall it was a good show. They did a good job developing the characters. I thought it was pretty good to watch. The OVAs were nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The next series I'm getting ready to watch is A Certain Magical Index. Don't really know how that goes, but I'm kind of on a kick. I like a good mix of action and slice of life games. Just personal preference. But of course that depends on mood. I also like some horror animes, and several other things. You know, depending on the show, sometimes I like subs, sometimes I like dubs. But ultimately, what I'm concerned about, whether dubbed or subbed, is more anime content actually makes it here, so there's more to watch. Sometimes I like dubbed because I don't happen to speak Japanese, and it's nice to be able to do other things while I'm listening to a show. But other than that, I hope you like this reviews, and hopefully you will like those. Other than that, thank you for watching.